Okay, sir. You're in
Hello.
charge. Yeah. So let the clapboard fly, and we'll be going.
Candy and Dyron Ducati.
There we go.
Take one.
Welcome back to another Candy's World on Wheels podcast. Today we are joined by local celebrity and radio famous voice, Dyron Ducati.
The voice of God.
The voice of God.
Greetings and salutations.
Yes.
Kiss 104.1. It's the 90s at noon with your man in the midday, Dyron D. I want to take it back to 1998.
So tell us how you might have arrived into the couch today.
I guess just being a part of the shop. I'm like family here.
Yeah, you are.
I've been coming to WOW since 2009.
That's a lot of bikes ago.
Yeah. But the funny thing is I don't switch through my bikes. I collect.
Okay.
So just, a repeat customer, buying bikes and just trying to enjoy life on two wheels.
Yeah.
And not picky about the brand. I just want to ride.
Mm-hmm. So even though it's Dyron Ducati, you're Dyron of all motorcycles.
Yes, Dyron Honda, Dyron Suzuki, Dyron Harley.
Dyron on the motorcycle. That's really what it is. Yes.
Just pick a day, pick a name.
So what's your favorite motorcycle?
Unfortunately, I don't have one.
Not unfortunately. Just say, I just can't pick.
Yeah, I can't. Everyone has meaning to me.
Yeah.
I've got my very first motorcycle that I purchased when I was like 17, 18.
And what is that?
A 1984 Honda Sabre 700 VF.
Nice.
So it's $800.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The guy was like, hey, don't spend a lot on it. Just go ahead and take some of this money I'm knocking off and just go get a safety course.
Yeah.
I didn't do it, but here I am.
You have
still alive.
You have bad clutch habits. I can tell you, right? Bad clutch and brake. Don't cover your brake probably with all your fingers. Who knows?
Probably. But I'm still here. I've never broken any bones, never been in the hospital, knock on wood. My dad said it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Yes. It is when. It is when.
I've worked at motorcycle shops. I've worked at Harley shops, Ducati shops, Suzuki and Kawasaki shops. I've dropped many motorcycles standing next to them. Many.
They must be very angry with you, those motorcycles. They'd be like, dude.
It's a
you're
love.
You're supposed to be
hate.
hanging on to me.
And it's always a slow motion experience.
Yes. Isn't it funny how that happens? It's like it starts, you lose your balance, and then you're like, oh, and then it all slows down in your brain. Yes.
Not this.
We were, when we had the Zero electric motorcycles, we had done a few group demos from when we had like factory help with that. And I was leading a group of, I think we had 12 bikes. And the third guy back, I see this whole thing happen kind of from my rearview mirror to the side of me, like all like Matrix slow motion. This guy, he was 3 behind me, freaks out. We're coming to a stoplight, and he just plows into the guy behind me, captures him like, I don't know, some kind of goat rodeo thing where they like clash into each other, and the dude's like wrapped around the other guy riding. And I see bits and pieces of motorcycles flying past me. It goes like from the rearview mirror to the side of me, seriously, like Matrix style. And the one rider who crashed into the other one's on top of that guy, sliding down next to me on the motorcycles. Yes. I was like, oh man, that is just so crazy to watch that happen in real time. But it seemed like it took forever to happen. And then I was waiting for the impact because they were coming right behind me. And
you didn't get hit?
No, nothing. It just went, like I said, I was watching it in the rearview mirror, bracing for impact, and started to see it all. I guess I probably swerved a little bit to the left, more than likely, and watching it all slide down the road. And then we didn't do demos anymore.
One apple will spoil the bunch.
Yeah, the guy said he couldn't find the brakes.
Oh, no.
Couldn't find the brakes. But he was the one that rode up to the demo on a motorcycle.
What?
Yeah. It was awesome.
Make it make sense. So much opportunity missed for future demo experiences.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't just that, but anyway. So you and your fleet of motorcycles.
Yes.
Yeah. How many batteries do you go through?
So I have the tenders.
Yeah.
So I try my best to keep them charged.
We talk about this often with people who collect stuff. It's like the bane of the motorcycle or car collector is batteries, like all of us with the batteries. And
And I try not to just ride in, the warmer weather. I'm not the weekend warrior guy. As of lately, I have, I'm a dad now.
Oh,
So I've got the car seat in the back and I got to pick her up from daycare. I get to pick her up from daycare.
there you go. Nice.
But in exchange, I can't ride as often.
Oh,
So that's really difficult. So now I'm definitely, having some issues with my bikes just sitting.
yeah. Well, when it does get warmer, you have to go out for those midnight rides where you just go out and sneak around and get the ride fix in.
So all those parents that have children who do not sleep throughout the night, who wake up in the middle of the night, I'm struggling with you. So I can't have those late night rides where I'm just at peace.
Her
Mom
was
was like, where were you? I'm like, oh, just trying to get some therapy. She was screaming for you. She didn't even want me. She's like, Daddy.
Yeah. They go through their stages, and it is part of it, and it is it's the most rewarding thing you can do in your life, for sure.
I'm just ready for her to be of age so she can ride with me.
There you go.
My mom is not crazy about it, but she's already like, Daddy, motorcycle. She has a magnet.
That's sweet.
So we'll see what happens.
That's where it all starts.
And hopefully, she can start collecting like I did. So I started off with toy motorcycles. Mm-hmm. So in the backseat of the car, I've got the Transformer lunchbox full of toy motorcycles. And I have it in the window ledge and I'm pretending like I'm on the motorcycle riding alongside the car.
That's so funny.
And, as I got older, I stopped collecting the toy motorcycles and I started collecting real motorcycles. Mm-hmm. So yeah, my first motorcycle, me being in radio and having the name Dyron Ducati, I was like, it's only right that I have a Ducati. Mm-hmm. My dad's motorcycle, 1966 BSA Spitfire, that was like my real first, entrance, my experience with motorcycles. Like, it didn't even work when I was a kid. I just sat on it in the garage and just pretended like I was riding this motorcycle.
A lot of them never worked. Yes.
Yeah. Struggle. So it's unfortunate. I mean, now, my dad is no longer with us, but I restored the motorcycle. Mm-hmm. Not myself, just different shops that work on old British bikes. And, now I get a chance to ride on the bike that he rode, that I actually played on as a baby. Is really, really cool.
Yeah, that is. That's like a direct link. Yes. That's like hanging on to his hands almost.
I've had my mom on the back. She's in her 70s and she's like, man, this is just like being on the bike with your father, except you're safer.
Well, yeah, back in those days, it was a wild.
Yeah.
They probably didn't wear helmets. And
She's like, you're so safe, but
he was a young buck trying to impress his lady.
Yeah.
Yes. So you've got mom on the back, and you're like, I can't hurt my mom.
Yeah, no.
It's a different mentality.
She's a trooper. She's a G. She's like, any bike you want to ride, let's go. Mm-hmm. So she's been on 6 of the 7 bikes, and the 7th one is torn apart. So that's the only reason she hasn't ridden it.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
I'm proud of her back.
Yes.
Because I got some choppers, and it's like, I don't know how you're going to do this, Mom, but just let me know. Tap me when you're ready to turn around.
Yeah. That's so cool. Yeah, it is. When the family is into it, it is a whole different experience when it's a tight-knit, family unit thing. And it always brings a smile to me when I see like pictures of, families at a dirt track or families doing something on motorcycles together. That's how Duncan got here to be with us, was his dad. His dad was bringing him in here and doing stuff with him, and that's important. And it is a bond that you get with your kids that, you got a lot of kids that, dad and mom's taking them to baseball or football or gymnastics or whatever. But then you've got the kids like, yeah, we went motorcycle riding this weekend. And the kids are either in awe or they're like, what? So usually no in between. It's
an awesome experience. Those core memories right there. Mm-hmm. My first time on a dirt bike was the worst experience of my life. My dad didn't do a good job of teaching me how to ride the bike.
All right. Yeah.
That was his fault. He was so excited that he just skipped over so much. And so there I am on this, I think it was like a 1979 Honda XR80. Mm-hmm. And I'm ready, but I don't know what's about to happen. So I let off the clutch really quickly. And there's another guy standing nearby on his bike, just posted. And I almost hit the front of his tire. And I remember him cursing. And I remember my feeling like my eyes were as big as sand dollars. Mm-hmm. And once I finally figured out how to stop the bike from moving, I was like, nope, I'm off. And if he had just really taught me before just saying, let's do this. But he was the type of dad that would toss me in the deep end of the water of the pool and say, you can do this, get to the other side.
He knows he knows how he does it, and he just is assuming that you've just absorbed it through osmosis with him or something like that. But I sent my son to the motorcycle safety course for the dirt thing.
Thank you.
And he did not like it because he's grown up. He's grown up in this dealership, from grew up here on all kinds of other motorcycles. And I think he thought he knew more than he actually did, because he's just always seen everybody riding and always seen everybody make it look so easy. Mm-hmm. And he thought he was just going to get on it and it was going to look like, one of the guys riding it out of the service department. And when he realized that he had to control everything, and he fell over a couple of times, and he was so frustrated. And that was 100% why I sent him to do it with somebody else, because like you and your dad, like, you're not going to learn as well because you have that parental child thing happening. Even though your parents teach you so much, there's points where parents need to hand it off to somebody else to remove that parent-child thing.
Yeah.
But he actually does not gravitate towards it, which is fine. I'm not going to force him. He's either going to want to or not. And he's had all the opportunities, and I don't want to make him do it. He can come in and identify quite a lot of motorcycles. That's cool. He used to play motorcycle salesperson in the office on the weekends. We'd call each other from the desk phones, and he'd place an order for 40 Kawasaki's to be shipped to wherever. And I
had a great mom, but I wish my mom was like you, Candy. I'll be honest. That's really cool. That's really cool.
Well, he probably will only think that much later. For now, I'm just the one that comes home and makes him do his homework, and he hates it. So
they'll listen to other people before they listen to us, for whatever reason. Like, we can tell them the same thing that a stranger's telling them, but
and I had to understand that, and I think I've seen enough of it in the motorcycle industry where it's it's usually always the guys trying to teach. It's the guys trying to teach his girlfriend or the guy trying to teach his son, and you see that friction thing happening, and you're like, you probably should remove yourself from that, because then they'll be more calm and they'll be learning a little easier, because you will listen better. Like with my son, I had dreams of homeschooling him until I realized he didn't want to listen to me. And I'm like, guess you got to go to school. But it is, figuring it all out and being the best parent you can, or whatever.
The funny thing is, a lot of times where they are, of course, we've been, and where we are, they'll eventually be. And that hindsight is just the hindsight. Yeah. So just got to remember there.
He gets those lessons all the time. I'm like, in another 10 years, you'll look back at this moment and you'll think, she was right. Or, oh, okay, now that makes sense. And I always tell him, whatever you want to know, I'm going to tell you. Yeah. But I'm going to tell you when I think you're mentally ready to understand. Mm. So, it's, whatever his little questions were that, I thought it was too mature of a thing to talk about. But then now he's, 12-ish, getting into the preteens. And, we have some discussions. He's like, I don't want to know anymore. Stop talking.
But he might listen to somebody else. But,
Oh, yeah. It's funny.
You're doing a great job.
Well, thank you. You're doing a fine job as well.
Thank you so much.
Very good. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
We got to raise up these children to be able to take care of us later.
Yeah.
Give them the good things. All right, so back to your motorcycles. You have 7.
7 motorcycles.
Yeah, you've got the plan, one for each day of the week.
Yeah,
that's
it's like my underwear.
Yeah,
it says Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so forth.
You better not skip a day of laundry then.
No. But and all of them, like I said, all of them have a special meaning to me. One of my uncles, he had a 1971 Triumph Bonneville. Mm-hmm. Bought it brand new off the showroom floor, and he raked it out, from the 70s. So it's the end of the 60s, going to the 70s, Springer front end, Springer handlebars, and he put 3,000 miles on it and put it in the garage and was just like, hey, look what I got type of guy. I got money, look what I got. So before he passed away, I said, hey, I love motorcycles. I'm one of the nephews that really enjoys riding motorcycles. Could I have? He's like, I'm not dying. I said, not now, but you can't be here forever, Unc. Yeah. You can't be here forever. He's like, I'm fine. I'm not dying. So
I'm taking it with me. I'm riding it through the pearly gates.
And unfortunately, he had a heart attack, passed away, and I was like, okay. I reached out to his daughter. I was like, look, I am the biker in the family. I asked him, I asked him, and he said no because he didn't plan on leaving. And she was like, the bike is yours. Yeah, the bike is yours. And so I, like my dad's motorcycle, I was like, I'm gonna put this in restoration, and I don't let it just sit and look cool. I ride it.
That's good.
And so people are like, man, my dad had a bike like that. And my uncle had a bike. He's like, the gear's on the other side, right? I'm like, yeah. Yeah. So, it's nice to collect and enjoy them as opposed to just let them sit up. Now, for some people, they might want to collect and just show them every once in a while. But I'm like, no, I want these out on the road.
Yeah. Well, that is actually the best thing for them, going through the heat cycles. And, we talk oftentimes about, I'm not afraid to buy a higher mileage bike if somebody's ridden it and taken care of it, because it beats a bike that's just been sitting there getting nothing done to it, because then, every seal is toast and the chemicals, just get so caustic in them. But it is great to see people that want to use them for what they were intended and not just look at them. Although we do both. We have a lot of ones that we just look at here.
Collectors, I got it. And it's cool.
It is.
Having museums is really neat.
Yeah.
And I understand that the value of it can diminish, as you put more miles on it and whatnot. But for my motorcycles, I'm not really thinking about selling them.
Yeah.
So I think that's another thing. I feel like I'm probably like my uncle.
Yeah, you're like,
I'm not getting rid of this.
Taking them all with me.
I've had friends who tell me that know me really close, like, hey, when you pass, could I get this motorcycle? When you pass.
You can say no, because I'm going to do it like the old Norse Vikings. I'm going to have my body on top of all my motorcycles.
Spread me out.
Sprinkle my flaming arrows over into make the funeral pyre on top of my motorcycles.
So yeah, hopefully, God willing, my daughter will want to ride and want dad's bikes when she's older.
Yeah.
When I'm gone, hopefully. And if we have other kids, they'll want to enjoy these motorcycles from
maybe
dad.
they'll be fighting over them.
Maybe I'll have 7.
There you go. Wife, I don't know if you want that or not, but
you get one, you get a bike, you get a bike. I'm like, over here. So,
well, that's incentive to have a large family,
Yes. And again, they can take care of each other.
Yeah.
So.
And y'all.
Yes.
That would be like extra redundancy on making sure that y'all are well taken care of when you're older and you lose your faculties.
One of them, if not a couple of them, will want to, look out for us. Not put us in a home and leave us.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
that's fun.
Ride until I can't no more. And that's a great thing. Like, people ask me, do I see myself riding forever? And ideally for me, I enjoy riding so much that I try to be very, very defensive when I'm on the bike. I don't want to get into an accident. I don't want to get into an accident where I can't ride again.
Right.
Where my limbs are destroyed. My back is bad. My knee is bad. My wrists hurt from, holding the clutch. I don't want those experiences. So I try to exercise as often as I can when I can. And I try to be really defensive on the motorcycle. For years, for almost a decade, I was a traffic reporter. So I'm reporting in Atlanta. I'm reporting about accidents every single day.
It'll make you not want to leave the house.
Every single day. And I was in other cities also doing traffic reporting. But at the end of the day, that was the focal point of my career. I am talking about accidents in cars. In cars. And I tell people, very seldom do I hear anybody say, hey, I saw this accident in this pickup truck on my way to work. I don't think I'd ever drive a pickup truck ever in my life after seeing that. Or I was in an accident, where I was rear-ended and it wasn't my fault. I don't think I ever want to drive again because I'm just scared because I've got the trauma. So when I tell people motorcycle accidents, you don't I'm never going to get on a motorcycle because somebody got into an accident, somebody that I know, or a family member died on a motorcycle. So I'd never do that. We don't say that about cars. And I understand that motorcycles don't have seatbelts, and I understand that there are way more cars than motorcycles on the highways and on the surface streets around Atlanta. But the frequency of car accidents, nobody has that type of trauma. And people die in cars that have seatbelts.
Oh, yeah, every day.
Nobody has that type of trauma about being in a vehicle, the way that they project that on bikers. So all I can do is convert as many as possible.
Yeah.
As a biker, I've taught many people, no thanks to my father, but thanks to my father for bringing me into this biker world. But I've been able to really, mold and rear other bikers in this world where they're teaching their spouses and their girlfriends and their boyfriends.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing the good work for the biker community.
Well, we appreciate it. Yes.
It's therapeutic.
Yes, it is. And the more motorcycles are on the road, the safer we'll all be. And, we do talk about, we're going to get the statistics here soon of what is the most dangerous, but just off the top of my head, going to the hospital. Yeah. Going to the hospital for routine stuff is more dangerous. Stairs in your home, ladders, hammers. It's amazing if you really look into what people die from. And as Duncan mentioned this morning, 200 people a year die from being hit in the head with a coconut. Crazy. So it's, but motorcycles are demonized. Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck? But motorcycles are demonized all the time.
No.
Yeah. Poor coconut trees. Got to get rid of all of them. They're dangerous.
Oh my gosh. Chop them down.
Yeah.
Cut it. So yeah.
Can't have those around.
That's horrible.
Imagine, we'll just fill the
I don't mean to laugh, but that
lot.
is crazy. That is crazy.
We're going to plant a bunch of coconut trees in the parking lot out here so we can say, no, those are more dangerous than the motorcycles.
Come get a bike.
Wear your helmet by the coconut trees.
Yes. Come get a bike.
Yeah.
But
Maybe that's a new piece of safety equipment we can get. Anti-coconut shield, something.
Saving lives. One coconut at a time. Mm-hmm. But yeah. I would say, I would tell a lot of people that riding is the closest you can get to being alone and with God and feeling the wind in your face and just being free. Mm-hmm. So riding a bicycle downhill is that feeling when you're a kid and you're like, you don't have to pedal anymore.
Yeah.
And it just feels good. Mm-hmm. Now, back then, of course, sometimes we would take our hands off the handlebars, which I would not recommend to any biker, but that feeling of freedom. One of the longest trips I took, was from here to New York. And I got a chance to see the sun rise, and I got a chance to see the sun set, and it was truly like watching God paint all day long. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely beautiful.
Couldn't even explain it because people in a car, you have so many distractions. You have the radio, you have French fries, you have your cell phone. Something
just
in the
being
backseat.
surrounded. You don't get that fourth dimension of the smells and the air and the temperature and all that.
Yeah, you're just not in tune with everything. On a motorcycle, you can see things that you've never known were there over there. There's a library over there. I didn't know there was a library. We don't go to libraries anymore, but that's good to know there's a library over there. Just so many things you can see while being on a motorcycle. Oftentimes people tell me like, man, my daily commute from A to B, I get lost in the sauce and I'm not really paying attention because I know my route.
Yeah.
So I just, all of a sudden, I'm at work. On a motorcycle, like you're so aware that you see a lot of things. You even see drivers next to you, when they're getting ready to get, put on their turn signal. You're monitoring their hands. You can tell when people aren't paying attention if they're doing something in their car because you just have, the wherewithal. Like you can see everything. Mm-hmm. It's beautiful. It's peaceful. Now, for those that already ride, you're like, yep. Mm-hmm. Tell me something I don't know. Those that have never experienced it, it's close to being a God and talking to yourself. Thinking gives you a lot of time to marinate on decisions that you've made or that you're going to make for the day. You can diffuse a lot of situations by being on a bike. Some people are unfortunately too immature. You got to respect the power. I've had a best friend a long time ago he knew how much I loved motorcycles. He's like, man, if anybody's going to teach me how to ride a bike, and I said, not me, because I knew the type of person that he was. He was very emotional. Mm-hmm. So I was like, if you ever get into a situation or an argument with your girlfriend, or if something goes bad at work, something happens in the family and you're upset, like I know how you drive in a car, so I wouldn't be so reckless to show you this life. And you end that, and I gotta, have conversations with your family about, Dyron got him into bikes, and so yeah, there's a lot of responsibility there, and you got to know who you are as a person. And a lot of us who are younger, we do things that we shouldn't be doing. Yeah. Not even on a motorcycle, we do a lot of things that we shouldn't do. And as we get older, we look back and be like,
surprised I survived that.
Surprise.
Yeah.
So, even bikers are like that. We mature, we grow, we learn from other people's accidents and mistakes, not always our own, being at a bike shop and seeing customers come in every day. And then next day I see them on the news, you know, and they're no longer with us. Like it happens, you know. Sport bikes to cruisers, you know, accidents are accidents. Sometimes it's our fault, sometimes it's not. But at the end of the day, you know, you just got to respect the power that you have.
Yeah, and also I think so many people are just uncomfortable with death, you know. It is the one thing you don't escape in life. No. And, you know, I've been in the industry for so long that I have a little bit of a different understanding of it, or the way I accept it. And that is, you know, when your number's up, your number's up. And how do you, if you could choose a way to go out besides just falling asleep,
you are my spirit animal.
Yes.
My whole life, Candy, I've been like, I know it sounds dark, but I was like, I'd like to go to sleep or an accident that I'm just not coming back from. I'd be okay. I know that sounds dark, but those are the two ways if I had to pick how I go and I leave this room to go to the upper room on a bike and that's it, or in my sleep.
Yeah.
But
a lot of people get real sad about it. And it is, you know, you kind of just have to step outside your own personal thoughts and, I guess, grief in a way, and say, you know, my loved one that passed away doing this or that, you know, on the racetrack, or doing, you know, they decided they wanted to go for a hike for their bucket trip or their bucket list thing and get eaten by a bear. They passed away doing something they loved.
Yeah.
And wouldn't we all much rather do that than other alternatives that are really horrific, like Alzheimer's or cancer or, you know, other long ALS? Like, you know, there's a lot of other ways to go out that are not nice. And I think one situation cemented it for me on it being like, if you have to have options and you could choose your options. There was a man who, he and his brother booked this bucket list trip because he had stage 4 cancer and they had always wanted to do this trip. And he was healthy enough when we saw him, and I had lengthy conversations with him. And the guy ended up having a heart attack on the motorcycle while they're on their trip, went off the side of the road and went to the hospital. And because of the complications of everything that he had going on, he just didn't make it. So the trip was his last trip, which was like very chilling for me in a way. But his brother and he were so adamant that if that was his last everything, that was what he wanted. And it was like, yep, I mean, that really is true for so many people. And we have to be happy. I had to be happy that I was able to help with his last ride. Yeah, his last ride. And as many people like, oh, that's so dark, or that's so gruesome, or that's so whatever. That was what the man wanted to do.
His perspective.
Yeah. And you know, it's like, you have somebody that takes 2 years to get to the end, and like the last thing they want is like an ice cream sundae, and you're like, oh, you shouldn't have that because you're sick. Give them the damn ice cream. Let them do what they want to do.
Yeah.
And so it's been a long journey on me understanding that and being okay with it, because, you know, again, that's the one thing we all can't get out of in life.
No,
and
we're not put here to stay. We're not.
Yeah, we're not.
Some people feel like some people are leaving too soon.
There's always the sadness. There is, I'm not going to say that I'm always fine with everything,
that's
every
grief. That's understandable that we don't want to lose people.
Yeah.
We want to keep the flesh, keep the memories. And once that chapter is closed forever, it's really difficult to, just accept that and be okay. Yeah. But as you say, in time, you get older, you start to look at things differently. They say older people have less filter. They have less patience. They're not going to put up with certain things like in time. But at the end of the day, live your life, to the fullest, live out loud, because tomorrow, so if you're planning like, man, in 5 years, I would like to be able to do this experience on my bucket list, and you only get to 3 years out, and God says, look, this is your time. That's it, or you say, look, I'm going to wait till retirement to be able to enjoy this thing that I really enjoy. Retirement comes around and life happens. Yeah, life happens.
Yeah, it does.
You're not able to really enjoy the things that you truly love. So I always tell people, don't wait for retirement. Don't wait for the next opportunity next year to celebrate. Find ways, be very intentional about living right now, because next month, even reunions are like, we're going to get on this bike trip, next year that it might not happen. One of those bikers might not be with us anymore.
Yeah, but you got to plan for it. I mean,
Indeed,
you still have to,
indeed.
You can't do everything today, but you have to put things in. Don't put it off. Don't put it off. But plan the things that you want to do.
I think we are conditioned to say, "I'm going to do this when."
We are for sure. But I know, especially as you get older and you get more mature and you have a lot more life experience, the amount of people that I've seen retire and then find out they're very sick, or things, stranger things happen, and they put off all these things until they had the time, and then they don't have the time. And it's a sad, sad story to see, but I feel very, very, very fortunate that I was able to kind of live my life in reverse compared to most people who get married and have children young. I didn't have my son till I was 40. So I basically lived my retirement life first, did lots of traveling, lots of riding, lots of things.
Living on the edge.
Yes, I was. And, it's funny because, then I have my child and my other friends, their kids are graduating college and all this stuff. And now they're empty nesters and they're trying to make up for lost time. And then you kind of trade roles of jealousy. It was like they were jealous of me being able to go and do whatever I wanted to do and footloose and fancy free. And then I was jealous that they had family. And then now I'm jealous that they're retiring. And
I get it. Nobody's ever content. The skinny person wants to be thicker. The thick person wants to be slimmer. The person that's always up at night, they're like, I just want to rest.
Yes.
And vice versa. It's just, life is what goes. This is what my dad used to tell me. Life is what goes on while you're making plans for it. Mm-hmm. So while you're trying to be the best manager, the best owner, the best parent, life is happening and there are going to be some curveballs. It'll be okay. Mm-hmm. Expect the highs with the lows. And if you don't think you've reached the lowest yet, just keep on living. Mm-hmm. If you feel like you haven't really reached the pinnacle yet, just keep on living. Don't be fearful of the big ages that come down the road when you're getting older and older.
No. One of our best customers, he's working on his plan of buying 50 bikes, so I give him one free. But he's got to be in his 70s, mid-70s probably. And he just goes and just does whatever he wants to do, and he's hilarious. I mean, I think he lives on our website, and he's in here every week. And he's talking about how he went out riding with his sons and he's doing all this stuff.
That's a blessing.
It is. And he really is one of those people that's a good example of, just do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Within means, everybody's got to live within means. But he's got his goal. He's working on getting 50 bikes. He's halfway there. And it's hilarious to see him in here because he's, we'll get in a bike and he will be here before it gets on the floor.
That's awesome.
Because he's like, somebody told me you had a Victory Magnum. I got to come and look at it because I've been wanting one of those. I wanted to have one of those. I wanted to ride one of those. And he's had every style of bike, every type of bike. Mm-hmm. And now he's like, well, these big ones are getting too big. I'm going to have to start going back down. I'm like, okay, we've got that too.
So he's not selling. He's just collecting like me.
No, I think he's space limited, so he's, his wife and his space limit him and how many he can have. I don't know if he's got 2 or 3, but he's constantly changing them. But it's just it's a joy to watch him, and he's always so happy when he gets to see a bike that reminds him of, he bought one from us 6 months ago because his brother had one a long time ago, and he'd always wanted one, and we got the same color in and this and that, and so it's fun to make those memories for people.
Very nostalgic.
Yeah.
What was your first bike?
My first bike was a Kawasaki Eliminator 250, which most people have no idea what that is. And they did bring back a Eliminator that doesn't look anything like what I remember mine to look like, but they had a 250 and I think they had a 1000 or 1100.
And why'd you pick that bike?
Because that was what somebody gave me.
It was free.
It was free, yes.
Hand me down.
And then I had 2 Ninja 250s after that. And then it was just off to the races. It was this and that and this and that.
So when you had that Kawasaki, was there a bike that was in your mind like your dream bike?
Yes.
Back then.
And I have it down there on the floor. I have it down there on the floor, the GSXR 750. Slingshot, the slingshot style. That was sport bikes as we know them today had not been out that long when I started riding. Okay. It was the mid-'80s where they started to become full fairinged and becoming the Rice Rockets of the day. Yeah. So sport bikes themselves were not that old. So every new version of them coming out looked like a spaceship to us because they looked so different from the standard bikes and the cafe or the sport tour, or I guess kind of sport tours of the day. Because you had like, the Triumph style. That was the style for almost every street bike for the longest time. Yeah. And they were making leaps and bounds on how they looked because with the sport bikes, you could make the bodies look so different. And the GSXR original ones were very, very narrow. And then they changed to a very bulbous body style. And, all the sport bikes pretty much are celebrating like their 40th anniversaries this year and next year. Kawasaki and Suzuki for sure. I'd have to look back and see when like the first fully fared CBRs came out.
Did you have posters in your room at all? Did you have magazines that you would go through, the trader magazines looking for the bike that you like?
No, because I pretty much just I was not a motorcyclist before I was in the industry, not for very long. Okay. Like my dad was a police officer and he had a motorbike, but I wasn't like drawn to motorcycles. My uncle had a motorcycle and it was just kind of there. It was just always a standard kind of thing in the family. But I wasn't riding bikes when I was a kid. So I rode a friend's bike in high school. He tried to teach me how to ride from the back. It was like a Yamaha XS650. Do not ever try to teach somebody to ride sitting on the back of a bike. That's stupid. But of course, then I didn't know. I'm surprised we did not die.
Living on the edge.
We had no helmets on. It was out in the country of Mars Hill Church Road out in Ackworth when it was nothing but pastures.
Is this back when you could be in the back of a pickup truck and not get pulled over?
Yes. This
in the bed of a pickup.
This was
back in the day.
Yeah, this was the mid 80s in Georgia, where we were not a giant metropolis, where there was still like
a lot of woods.
If you drove from Atlanta to Marietta, it felt like you needed to pack a lunch. It was like still distance between all the cities and not just one big blob. But yeah, riding, kind of being taught very poorly how to ride. So I knew that I was not afraid. And I think I had my first bike when I was 18 plus. 18.
Did you know how to drive a stick shift car?
I did. My first car was a stick shift.
So, okay, you had the concept.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yes.
Woo, congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank
you. Yeah,
you were cool. You were cool.
Stick shifts back then were much more common too. And that's one of the things I'll ask.
Not so much these days. But
No, but they should be, because then it would keep people from texting.
Yeah.
Because you cannot drive a stick shift and text very easily.
A woman who can drive a stick shift or ride a motorcycle or is in a truck. These are the cool factors. Like, oh man.
I do find I get looks in the dually when I drive the dually. Man. Yeah, I get looks. It's funny because I'll feel like eyes staring. I'll be like, yes, do I have is my blinker on or something? Like, what am I doing?
Story of your life.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's a gift and your curse.
It is funny. Yeah, it is. But that's okay. When I was younger and riding all the time, there was women, there's always been women riders, but there was just much, much fewer of them. And when I'd go into a restaurant, if I had my helmet in my hand, people would have seen the bike pull up and then not necessarily see me get off. But then when I walk in, it's like definitely people looking.
Like there's no guy with you and you're on the back, like you had your own bike.
Yeah. And it was very shy about that. It was like I got very embarrassed when people would just like stop and look. And it's like, what? I'm just riding, because I was immersed in it. So, it's something you do all day long around the shop and nobody's looking at you any differently. But then you go somewhere else and, if I'm, pull the helmet off, my hair was longer than this and bigger and poofier and
slow motion, if you can picture
kind of,
it.
Yeah.
Like she's in a commercial, shaking her hair out.
Yeah, it was like that because I would bundle it up under my helmet and tie it in a bun. And then so when I would take my helmet off and I would pull it out at the same time. And then, yes, it was like one of those shampoo commercials. And, again, at the time, you're not thinking about what you're doing. But then later you have your guy friends tell you, oh, yeah, this and this and whatever.
Everybody's talking about Candy when she get off the bike.
No. But it was funny.
Like dropping a bike, slow motion.
It was funny. There was a guy who did drop a bike.
Looking at you?
Because apparently I had leaned over to pick something up and I didn't realize it at the time that my shirt kind of went down. And he died of embarrassment on multiple reasons. One, because he was covertly trying to look at me without me seeing him. But he had a CBR 900 that had a custom airbrush job, this big dragon on the side of it and all this. He had paid thousands of dollars for this paint work. And he was trying to turn it around on this hill, and he looked, I guess, down my shirt, naughty you. And he dropped his bike, and it slid down the hill.
No.
Yeah. And I never knew why. It was like, at the time, I didn't know why, but like 6 months or a year later, his friend said, oh, you know why he dropped that?
Because you were in the midst. Slow motion candy.
So
get us some candy.
Didn't mean to, it was just whatever. I don't know.
Causing accidents, girl.
Yeah. Come on. No, it's not. I mean, it's when you're just
about it. Your gift and your curse.
Yeah.
Good times.
But anyway, that was never. I did know women that had motorcycles, as I called them, sexcessories. And they would drive me crazy. I'd want to choke them out because they're like, oh, me and my motorcycle. Can you move my motorcycle for me? It's too heavy. And I'm like, I was always straight out of the gate, a motorcyclist. I just wanted to be, I wasn't in it because I was a girl. I just loved it. And I just wanted to be accepted. And I didn't want to be looked at differently or anything like that. And I was, super stubborn. I'd grab the Goldwing and they're like, oh, let me help you. I'm like, don't touch it. I got it. Don't
Have you ever dropped a Goldwing?
Yes.
You picked it up by yourself?
Yes.
The first time you picked up a heavy bike, did you believe in yourself? Did you I knew I could do it?
Oh, I knew I could do it because it had been, I started working a lot at racetracks, and you work as a corner worker, and that's what you do is you pick up bikes that have fallen over. So you learn how to use the leverage, and it's, I didn't drop it. I got pinned in a door with it, and it kind of pinned me up against the door because we had a little ramp out this dealership, and the edge of the mirror just caught the bar of the door, and it just threw me off balance just enough because I was already on an angle going down, and really just kind of got pinned in it. And I don't think I had anybody help me pick it up at that point, but it's just what you learn how to do, and it's just using the leverage. That's all. Moving them, pushing them, picking them up. A lot of it is knowing how to step on something and push on something to make the force help you. So
impressive woman you are.
No.
Impressive human. Let me take away that woman. Impressive human you are.
Well, they do a lot at some of the motorcycle shows where they'll have demos of, little lady 5'2" picking up a full Harley bagger.
Yeah.
They teach them how to kind of walk it backwards. So, it's something that if you're going to ride motorcycles, you need to be able to handle your own motorcycle. And that's going back to the people who have them as sexcessories. Just always drive me crazy.
Not trying to judge, but...
No, I'm judging you. If you have a bike that you cannot move by yourself, you do not need to own it, period, because it's dangerous for you.
Yeah.
Because, if you can't move it in your own garage, why do you have it?
Yeah.
That's... Seriously. It's like deciding that you want to own a horse and then you go straight to a Belgian draft horse that you cannot handle. And
right.
I just always felt like if you're going to be into motorcycling, I truly wanted people to be motorcyclists and not look at me people. But I do understand that there is a place for the look at me people in cars and bikes because at least it sells the bikes.
Yeah.
And then hopefully you convert them into a lifelong motorcyclist. But yeah, seeing people that are like, oh, I need you to help me turn my bike around. It's one thing, if you're in an awkward situation, because everybody does get there sometimes, if you're on an incline or maybe there's gravel.
Flat tire.
Flat tire, that kind of stuff. But not just on a general basis, like pulling into a flat parking lot and then needing help. Sorry.
Yeah.
No. And for people who think I'm being a little harsh, you should see some of the people that have worked with us in the past who are 5 feet flat or shorter that could handle any bike here. And it's just a matter of practice and knowing how to, again, use leverage to make it work. So it's all possible if you just apply yourself.
Very embarrassing if you don't know the technique of picking up a bike and you're by yourself and there's just all these cars around.
And you're trying to He-Man it up.
Yeah, and struggling. And then you get the people that come out of the car too. You're like, do you need help? And you're just trying to... got this, but I don't got this.
Yeah.
I've never been the person that didn't get it. I remember the first Harley bagger I dropped, and it was the slow motion. I got off of it, and I heard tink, and that was the kickstand going back
Oh,
up.
I hate Harley kickstands, actually.
When I heard that tink, I was already walking away from the bike. And I knew it was like, no, in slow motion. And it went down.
You turn around and you just see it.
I was like, no. The bike was ready to be picked up by the customer. So there was nobody around, and I just had that adrenaline rush. And I was so much lighter in weight. But I just remember, and I was right next to a fire station, so there were firefighters around. And I didn't make any eye contact with anybody. I was like, whoop, picked it back up. My legs were shaking, put the kickstand back down, slowly put it back on the ground. I was like, okay. About face, walk into the shop and tell somebody. They're like, you didn't drop a bike, Dyron D. Like, you probably can't even pick up a bike, Dyron. I said, y'all come out and look at the scratches and see that it's not on its side anymore.
Yeah.
They're like, no, in slow motion, no.
Yes.
I said, yeah. I once dropped my Gixxer coming out of my driveway. The yellow line, the emergency lane, was wet just from dew. I needed some new tires, and I knew I needed new tires. So I just came out really quick.
Yeah, some of those things self-inflicted.
My neighbor's daughter must have been about 8 years old.
Do it again. That was funny.
And she always watches me leave, I guess, in the morning. So she hears me start up the bikes and riding out. So during breakfast, she'll turn around and it goes, Uncle D. And I just remember her mom running out. Her mom told me the story that she just freaked out. Like, she saw Uncle D go down.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, man, no, not the trauma. Her mom comes outside into the street and all the traffic stops. Everybody stops. And she's like, do you need help? My shoe is about 8 feet away from me. One of my shoes is about 8 feet away from me.
That's more embarrassing than dropping the bike.
Man. And I felt cool. I always feel cool. And, being on the bike. And here I am, my helmet is on. You can't see my face. So I felt good like that. Okay, nobody can see me, but I live on the main road. So anybody
out there in your socks.
Yeah. Hopping like, no, I'm fine. I'm going back to get my jeans ripped up a little bit. My jacket is a little scuffed, and I picked the bike up myself, and then I'm just dragging it back into the driveway. I'm right there. So embarrassing. Yeah. The walk of shame back into the driveway. And then the traffic picks up, and of course, slowly everybody's staring in the driveway while I'm inspecting the bike for any oil leaks or anything like that. And I was just like, man. And I think to this day, and that had to been like several years ago, I still randomly scream out of frustration and embarrassment. I don't know why, but it haunts me. Something so simple.
Yeah.
And I will scream in my bike like, oh!
Yeah.
They saw that, and they know where I live. Anytime I come out of my driveway, they're like, there goes that black guy with the dreads that was going all over the place that lost that Nike. And the woman came outside with her daughter like, do we need to help? And he just hopped. Well,
you're just replaying that moment of embarrassment. I'm sure that people not even think about it anymore.
Not too many black guys with dreads in my neighborhood. So they know that's that guy.
That's that guy.
Yeah.
Losing control of his motorcycle.
Another fun fact, in my neighborhood, I realized that, there's not a lot of black people in the neighborhood and on my street. And they get a chance to see me on all these different bikes. So when I see kids out in the back of the seats of their cars and they're just looking at me and waving, I'm like, they get a chance to see another biker.
Yeah.
And a black biker.
Hey, we're motorcyclists. Hey. We're motorcyclists. Put that helmet on your head and ride.
Yeah. They'll see the locks, flying in the air like, oh, look at him. Somebody said, you look like a black Fabio. I said, yes. Go purchase a motorcycle at Wild Motorcycles.
Maybe that's where they got the inspiration for the Predator helmet.
I've seen
they're
those.
like seeing your hair flopping out there. They're like, that would make an awesome helmet that weighs 500 pounds.
Sold. It's a market for everything.
There is. There really is. But yeah, the ponytails with the suction cups and stuff. And
I've seen those.
Yeah, there's been a bunch of those out there.
I had a mohawk for years, so I had motorcycle helmets that had real mohawks. So I'd take it off, and they're like, oh, he has another mohawk. Look at him.
Yeah, look at that.
It's a bunch of surprises. Head full of tricks.
Well, there you go. Keep it fun and exciting.
Look, I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time.
That's right. That's saying something about when you arrive at the end of the road of life, you need to be sliding in sideways, saying,
hold my beer.
I enjoyed that ride.
Somebody give my beer back.
Exactly. So what is it that, let's see, your radio personality.
Yeah.
And what is it that you would like to see with motorcycling that you may be able to influence with what you do for a living? Like, how would you be able to use your radio voice and
I think because I'm in radio, and I've been in radio for over 2 decades.
You don't look a day over 19.
Thank you. Black don't crack.
Yeah, see, there you go.
So I've been riding for well over that amount of time, but I always feel like I have a following. I've never been a club type guy. I've never had a crew of bikers. I've always been a lone wolf. I know that I have influence, and it isn't just with male bikers. You know, my female audience is large. I think they like my voice, probably. They don't know what I look like. They're like, man, we like his voice.
Well, he's got a face for TV as well as a voice for radio, or a face for radio, however that works. So, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, face for radio would be rough. But this is me. This is what I look like.
There you go.
And just promoting, riding. And I've had listeners come up to me like, oh my gosh, I just got a motorcycle, a couple months ago. I love it. And I love representing for women. It's just a great, great influential aspect that I have to be able to reach so many people to talk about what riding a motorcycle is like, what having a passenger on the back is like, the things that you see, the place you can go, the camaraderie, when you're out and about and you're seeing other people that either ride in the moment or that used to ride or know somebody that rode and have conversation, it's never a dull moment.
Yeah.
But I like to be able to, connect my radio influence and actually be able to do more with people in the community, to do more charitable things in the community. So not just ride, but ride for causes. So, which is not impossible. It's very realistic. It's just life. It's like when you see a friend like, man, we need to, catch up, in a couple of weeks. It's nice to see you at the gas station, but let's get together, and life happens and you don't see them the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. Well, that is an everyday struggle for everybody, especially like as you have a broader and broader friend group. Really, I think people can only live with a certain amount of tight-knit people just because there's only so many hours in the day. But, keeping those connections from the past and, keeping those people that meant something to you maybe more at one time, maybe when your life was different and your life went this way and theirs went that, but always keeping those connections is important. Because as we get older, we definitely tend to get into our little bubble of everything that we do, and we forget how we got there, and sometimes we forget who we are, especially now that you're a dad.
Yeah,
your life revolves around that little girl.
And
she's got your she's got you. She's got your finger.
I'm wrapped around it. So,
and that's going to be your life until whenever.
I'm like, her mom was like, don't rush her growing up, but oftentimes I'm like, just get a little bit taller. It's kind of like measuring her to see if she can ride on the rides of the roller coaster at Disney. I'm like, if you just get a little bit longer, we can get these legs to reach these pedals. Just get a little bit taller.
Well, you got to watch it because that Z50 that's down there, that's mine, and I was going to have my son learn to ride on it, and he was too small, and then all of a sudden he was too big, and I really don't know how that happened. I mean, it was really like just
missed the window.
But he's 12, and he is like 5'9" now. Oh. And he's closing in on 6 feet really quickly. And, you don't want to rush him because,
I get it.
You'll be wanting your little girl.
Yeah, I get it.
Because girls get real sassy real fast. And it used to be like 9, 10. Now it's like 6, 7, 8, something in there. So
6, 7.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good Lord. Good Lord. Hold on. What is the song that we're playing now when people start saying that? 3, 6, 9?
I don't know.
Yeah, yes. Real fine.
I don't know.
No, so the response to that now is that Yin Yang Twin song, 3, 6, 9. Yeah, that one. So that's the response.
Get low.
Yes. I play, for anybody who doesn't know this yet, if you're going to be late to one of our meetings, you have to dance. And I have never come up with such a brilliant strategy. So any business owner, if you want your employees to be on time for meetings or in time in general, if you make them dance when they are late, they will not be late.
Are you hitting with like some BGs? Or are you hitting with like apple bottom jeans get low?
Yeah, yes. I mean, we do it all.
From the windows to the walls.
Yeah, that's what we did this past Saturday, actually. It was hilarious because there was 2 people that were late. So we got, actually, when our big meeting, we did that for 2 people that came in. But it's hilarious because we kind of anticipate we want somebody to be late because we'll pull up like hilarious songs. And, you know, a lot of people really get into it. So like one of the guys actually was doing the worm and we're like, you're going to hurt yourself. You know, you're like 50. Don't do that because I'm not covering under workman's comp when you hurt something. So, you know, for the people who are late and then they embrace it and like, you know, really just get down and act silly, it's hilarious. And it's just a good break, you know,
I approve this message.
Yes. So business owners, you're welcome. It's a very passive, hilarious way of making sure that people get there on time. It will break even the most resistant person, you know, especially if you pick something that they absolutely would not want to dance to. Like, can't even think of something, but
some Miley Cyrus and Katy Perry.
Something, yeah, or the Macarena or the chicken song. Or,
no, not a chicken song.
There's a new chicken wing song that my son played. I'm like, don't ever play that again, please. All this music they have nowadays is just crazy. Crazy.
But yeah, your question about, you know, just pairing the two, radio and motorcycles, that's my thought.
Yeah.
And maybe at some point in time I get a chance to create a safety class. I would love to become an instructor. That's been one of my goals as of lately. Like, you know what? I've taught so many people off the record. I've taught so many people how to ride a bike. If I could be certified. But I like promoting riding the bike. That's why the
motorcycle safety course needs instructors. There's an instructor class you can take and you can get back to the motorcycle community by going and sweating your tail off on the course in the summer. Because it's not fun. I mean, it is fun.
No.
But it is.
You try to convince them, but not convince them.
It's no different than having to work in your yard on the weekends. You know, you're going to get out there and you're going to get it done, and in the end, you're going to be very, very fulfilled, fulfilled and happy, and you're putting people on the road to being lifelong motorcyclists and all their adventures. People. Yeah.
I just want to convert as many humans as possible before I go.
Yeah.
Because once you get this bug, it is like, it's like you can truly say, it's like when you have some food for the first time that you've never tasted before and you're like, now you're living. I think riding a motorcycle, and so many people when they go on vacations, what do? They get scooters. They rent scooters.
They do.
2 wheels.
But they won't do it here. Yeah. And they're in a place they've never been.
What?
Yeah.
But they won't even have a lick of experience and will be wiping out left and right on these rental scooters. All I'm saying is, you know, do it responsibly and have fun. And I feel like I'm blessed because of how defensive I am when I ride. I'm looking for everybody to not see me.
Oh, yes. That's one thing that I would tell people.
Everybody in the car, I don't expect you to see me. And so if anybody cuts me off, I'm never upset. I always just assume, even if they did see me, I never take it personal.
Yeah.
Because I don't want them to have my energy, for one, for me to be upset because they don't care. But also I become more defensive and I can prepare better and I can live longer and ride longer.
Yeah. Just everybody you see in the side roads coming at you, turning left, always act like they're going to try and run you over.
I'm not perfect. No. There have been moments where I had that moment where it's like A to B, I don't remember the ride.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
But if something gets in your way, you are back in center in an instant. You're like, whoa, here I am. Adrenaline, here we are.
Yeah. It makes us do this.
Yes, it does. It does for sure. Well, I think an avenue for you to take, especially with your local celebrityness, is you could very easily go and talk to high school students.
Yeah.
Go talk to high school students and ride your bike up there, and they would put together, it could be, I don't know what class that they could pull from, but.
So are you the plug, Candy? You have all, tell me your idea. And you're like, I can make it happen. Here's a plan. Well,
here's a plan. Contact your local high school and say, hi, I'm Dyron Ducati, and I would like to come and talk to your students about motorcycle safety. And
that would be cool.
Yeah, they welcome that type of thing because they're always looking for something new and different for the kids. And we have done quite a few things with schools, different schools for different things. And that's where you can really reach some kids. And there's a lot of kids who are floundering, kids that don't have good parents, unfortunately, that are looking for that thing to cling to and hang on to and be a part of. And, there was somebody telling me a story. They had a bicycle shop in town, and, they would get the kids together to keep them out of trouble and get them to put bicycles together, and they could give them the bike after they put it together themselves. And then that kind of led into motorcycling. And, we need people like that. We need people like that everywhere to keep kids out of trouble and get them off their screens and get them experiencing life. And that's, everybody has a little bit of time they can give back.
Yeah.
And whether that's through church or a school or finding a kid that, needs some guidance and help, it really, really makes a difference. And I would just like to see anybody who has time and the wherewithal to do it, just do it, because reaching kids at a certain age, you can really make a difference in their life. And that's why we try and make all of our events as family friendly as possible, because you never know.
For doing that.
Yeah, you never know when you're going to impact that kid and have them be, your next employee in 10 years because they remember you and remember you giving them a poster or a keychain or a T-shirt or, something like that.
Yeah.
So, and everybody has the ability to do that, because when you're on a motorcycle, most of the kids are still very open and excited about it because they see it as a transformer, or they see it as a Ricky motorcycle or whatever that little show was. And you are something different. And, especially if you've got...
bikers look cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Just look cool.
And you have an opportunity to really get that child's attention.
What I've noticed in my decades of radio is that the kids do listen to me.
It's your voice. It's your trance voice.
It's my
there.
voice.
Yeah.
I would notice, and I think at the time when I got into radio, 2003, Lil Wayne was big, and I'm in New Orleans. So the kids would come into the radio station like, oh, I just heard you talking to Lil Wayne the other day. Just to know that I'm able to have access to rappers like Rick Ross and T.I. Back then, it was just like, wow, you're someone. And when they would come in tours, they would be escorted by teachers or their parents. And I would tell the kids something, motivation, something about life, just lessons of life. And the parents would be like, I said that yesterday. The teachers would be like, we had this conversation last week. And none of them listen. And all of a sudden, I'm seeing the kids react to you with these light bulbs like, wow, that's so deep. And I just tell the parents and the teachers are like, I understand that they will most likely listen to someone else before they will listen to you. Yeah. As frustrating as it is, just know that you're saying the right things.
Well, that's why I think if you go into some schools, you're going to make a bigger impact.
Yeah.
You will, for sure.
So, yeah. I tell kids, I'm like, hey, if I was to tell you that you could make money, $500 reading a paragraph, would that encourage you to read? And they're like, what? I'm like, reading is fundamental. If you can get through this paragraph and make it sound like something and not just words and you're monotone, you can act. I said, every child on TV that's, reading a line in front of the camera, they were reading a line, they were given a script, and they start to think. They look at their teachers or they look at their parents. I'm like, I'm not saying that your teacher's going to pay you or your mom is going to pay you to read the book, but I'm just saying you
need to read.
Yeah. It's fundamental. And you, like me, I read for a living. I get paid, and it varies. It could be $100. It could be $1,000 to read words. They're like, what? And then some of them will start to say, well, I do want to practice reading. I do, have now a fire to read if I can do that. And they don't see the limitations. Yeah. At that point, it's possible. Yeah. I can make a lot of money. And I asked them, what would you do with that money? We're in an era of consumerism. Like you spend. So I got to get the money to spend it to get the things that I want. So the motivation behind the toys and the video games and the virtual reality things and the scooters, I got to get the money. I'm like, hey, you can make money by reading. So all that to say, I realize the power that I have, especially with youth, based on my my career path, being in radio. Like, it's Dyron Ducati. That's cool. Yeah. Like,
and Morgan Freeman needs to watch out because you'll take his narrating job. Maybe he's going to get done talking one day.
I would say he's been here forever, but he's literally been here forever. I feel like he was 17 looking as old as he does.
Every great nature show, I just I don't know. I just want to hear his voice. Yeah. It's like he's a great narrator.
And maybe one day that'll be Dyron Ducati's voice.
Maybe.
So, yeah. But, I so along with radio, I DJ, I host events. I'm a voice actor. I'm considered the voice of God, VOG, for concerts. So in the back, when they say, you hear, ladies and gentlemen, Katy Perry, Nicki Minaj, T.I., brought to you by Capital One or Coca-Cola. I'm the voice of God in the back.
Hear it right here.
So I'm using what God gave. I didn't plan this at all. This is not my plan, but I'm using the gifts that God gave me.
You should.
So
you should. So the gifts that God gave you, now apparently the computers are trying to take them from you. How do you feel about that? Like we don't have to dive deep into that, but
yeah, you and I had this conversation before, but it's good and bad. It's frustrating at first because, I think about the elders before who were seeing young people coming out of colleges, not having the experience and coming to the workforce and making more money than them. And they'd been around for a long time. They know exactly how to fix this, how to do this. Times just change and it's difficult. Seeing AI come in, and for me specifically, I can speak to my experience being a radio personality. They can use a voice, not necessarily mine, but any voice, good, bad, deep, young, old, and put that in the system and let it read out the words that's typed out, and it can do my job. It's sad. It's unfortunate to me. I understand how that saves a company money. And somebody that wants profit, you're doing it for the reasons to be profitable.
That is really the thing that brought me back around to that question, because since we talked about that, I had watched the Rogan episode where Elon's on there and he's talking about, he thinks within 5 years, and he's very unrealistic in that statement, but that is him. He would like to have flying cars today and they're just not ready. But so, he's saying within 5 years, we'll have something like what's called a phone, but it's going to have whatever it is that you want, AI generated instantly, anytime. And my thought on that when he said that was like, okay, well, what happens to Dyron? What happens to...
What's going to happen to my friend Dyron?
What happens to so?
We're going to have to hire him now. Here, take
He'll
this
be
broom.
on the sales floor.
Take this broom and get on this. Take this cloth, wipe down a bike. We got you, Dyron.
Yeah. But who's going to own? Who's going to own that? That's the thing that is kind of super scary. Is all right. So I can create any video that I want at any moment in time. I can just pick up my device and say, I want to watch, Dyron narrating the best nature documentary ever because Morgan, I'm tired of Morgan's voice now. And that can happen for me. But then, who's making all the money from that?
And
it's
maybe not
wild.
Me,
it's wild to think about that.
We get a policy on my voice, or a contract on my voice where
you better hit up Lloyd's of London real quick and be like, let me insure this.
I don't know. I don't know where it'll go. I don't know how far it'll go. I do understand technology is ever changing. We've seen leaps and bounds with companies competing with each other. Like, okay, this phone can do this. Well, we need our tech to find out what's next. What are the kids looking at now? What are the adults looking at now? We need to be the future. So there is a competition to be better. And so these AI companies are probably going to be finding ways to make more things convenient. America, we need instant gratification right now without the work. America. So, I mean, I don't.
And everybody's shortly there to follow too. I mean, we are the cradle of consumerism and capitalism, but the world is on our coattails so hard that it's choking us out. And China super fast growing on consumerism, not so much capitalism, because that all goes into the pocket of the government that keeps them consuming. And we're in a massive change, and it'll just be really interesting to keep an eye on things. But yes, you have a job here anytime you want. You can come be our event coordinator, and you can stand up here and be the voice of God and tell people that they need to buy motorcycles when they walk in the door. And they'll be like, I hear this voice telling me I need to buy a motorcycle.
Yeah, I could probably sell water to a well. This voice, I'm using it. Using it. Make it sound good. These motorcycles are beautiful.
They are.
Different paints, the different schemes.
He's not being paid to say that. He just genuinely feels that way.
This is the toy store. For all those kids, what it's like to have that core memory of walking into a toy store. Remember the toy stores?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
The toy store. It didn't have anything else but nothing but toys.
Yeah.
From the rooter to the tutor, from the back room to the front door.
I guess they don't have, my kids kind of grown out of that now, but I guess there's Toys R Us is gone now, right?
I've
So it's
heard
just
of
like
some
Walmart
places
and
trying to bring
Target and
Toys R Us,
that's
but
it?
yeah, Toys R Us. But there were other retail places that just, specialized in toys, and they were like boutiques, large and big, maybe in big cities like New York City or Chicago. But yeah, these motorcycles, nothing gender specific, ethnicity specific, like it is freedom, and it is the most beautiful experience. And it's like wearing clothes. Like my 7 day, 7 days I'm going through this. I pick this is the style that I want for this day. This is the style I want for this day. But you can be very content and free with one, and just being able to experience life differently. Last night I ran into somebody who said that she's like, I was asking a group of people like, okay, what do you look for, for this new year? And they're like, I just want to be better than this year. And I often hear people say, I'm ready for the year to end when they get to the end of the stretch. I'm just ready for this to just be over with and we start a new year. It just
Especially
wasn't great.
the last two, because coming off an election year, it seemed like for us in our industry, election years are always everybody holds on to their money and it's depresses the sales. But then we had the economic issues on top of that. So in our industry, we've had like 2 years of so we're definitely ready for everybody to have a new.
But to that, is there a year that you think about where you're like, that was my year?
Personally or business-wise?
Maybe personal-wise. Like, is there a year that you're like, 2023 was a great year for me personally? And I only ask that because I always hear people talk about they're ready for the year to end because they want a clean slate. And it's been a long year and these things might not have happened the way they wanted to, maybe towards the end of the year. But they're not thinking about all the things that have transpired. The lows you learn from the mistakes, relationship-wise, business-wise.
Yeah.
And the highs that you are just really blessed to experience, vacation trips, a big sale, a big promotion, life comes into the family, somebody has a baby. But do we ever think about the years and say, you know what, this was a great year? So the person that I spoke to, she said, I had started off the year not drinking. I'm a club DJ, so I'm always around alcohol. And so for the first time, like New Year's Eve, I had a really bad hangover. And that led me to think, you know what? I don't want to feel like this ever again. So started, a week, a couple weeks, a month, and so forth. And she's like, I became a different person DJing. And at first, it's just very different. She's like, it's scary being in front of a lot of people and they're waiting for you to play the next great song. It's a lot of pressure. But growing through that, and she's like, looking back, because of that, I am a different person. When you have never, when you decide to journey into something different, you've never been on a motorcycle, and you take that leap, you take that step forward to say, you know what, the freedom of just riding and not being confined to a cage, you become a different person. You go from being this little caterpillar to all of a sudden, boom, you got wings and you're flying like a butterfly. You become someone else and you feel something else and you learn something else. You experience other things, your way of life, how people receive you. Candy was talking about eyes were always on her because she's a female and a biker. Like things just change. Perception, conversations, people talk to you because they think you're cool or they know somebody that used to ride or they used to ride or their kids are looking at you and they want to talk to you. And, you just have these moments where you're just changing lives and your life is changing. So, yeah, come to WOW. It's a candy store and it will change your life.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. You'll also find friends for life here. And
for life.
Yeah, a lot of people have made lifelong friendships right here in our parking lot. And that's, what we want to continue to do because
this place is like Cheers.
Yes, it is.
Where everybody knows your name. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's a good feeling. And wouldn't you want to go into a place, an establishment, where you're spending money and you have that feeling of I'm not just another person or another customer, but I'm received with hospitality, Southern hospitality, good customer service, but I feel like I'm at home. And
that is also something that is not optional here. And it is.
It never seems forced. Nobody's like, my wrist. Okay, hey, how you doing, Dyron? Candy said, I better come out here and give you this hug.
No, it's different. It's something that goes back to just wanting to not allow motorcycling to become a 12-step process, or like you having to go and buy a new washer and dryer, or having to go and force yourself to buy a car because yours is broken, or, this is fun. This is the fun stuff. This shouldn't be that you walk in here with dread and you walk in here and you don't want to get your wallet out, Yeah, everybody has unexpected expenses or whatever, but we want it to be like Cheers. And I use that reference all the time. I want this to be like Cheers. You may not be able to remember somebody's name sometimes, but if you see somebody and you recognize that you had a interaction, or what bike they ride, or maybe an accessory that you helped them with, or anything like that, reference that back. And everybody here generally is an enthusiast anyway, and that helps. It's not that people are working here because they have to, or that anybody has a degree from college in motorcycling, and that's just what their path of college forced them to do. It is something that we want people to work here who want to work here, and it's very clear from my mouth to everyone here that if, the day comes that it is a struggle for you to get out of bed because you don't want to come to work, then go ahead and roll over to your computer and start looking for somewhere else, because I only want people who want to be here, who want to engage with customers and help. I don't even like to say customers, our riders, because we want people to come here because we are not the internet, and we want to make people feel very welcome, and that we do remember you, and we want to help you ride, because if you come in and you have a bad experience, you get enough bad experiences at any particular place for your hobby, and you're going to be like, man, this is not fun anymore. Like every time I go to do this or that, it's a bummer. Yeah. So we look at it from truly a hobbyist point of view, where you have a motorcycle. Mm-hmm. We want to help you have more motorcycles. It's all a selfish plan. That's really all it comes down to, is I want to sell you more motorcycles, because you're having a good time, and you want to have a motorcycle for every day of the month. But no, it's people have choices, and people can go spend their money on big screen TVs for their basement, or home remodeling, or a car, or a boat, or, there's so many other choices. Mm-hmm. And if you don't give them a reason to come to you and stay coming to you, then, they can do everything from the comfort of their own home at 2 a.m. in their underwear on their couch. So, the personal touch and the personal interaction, I think really, another very small thing that most people take for granted when they call here. Have you ever called here?
Yes.
And what happens when you call here?
Well, for me personally, my experience, I can't speak for everybody, but when I call, I guess I'm on caller ID. So when I call, people acknowledge me as who I am. Mm-hmm. So it's funny to me. It's funny to me. Like, I wish I could disguise my voice maybe, mm-hmm. But that's my experience. Is that the experience you're referencing? Or
but somebody actually
pick up the phone, like it's a live person. Yeah, it's not automated.
Yeah,
it's not. I'll direct you. Marque número dos para español.
Mm-hmm. How many companies that you have to interact with when you call them? How many of them answer the phone?
Yeah, not a lot. I call the phone company, gas company. Yeah, my bank. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's one little thing that I've always stood by forever and ever, and I think most stores should do it, unless you're a gigantic corporation. Even gigantic corporations could answer the dang phone. Answer the phone. Answer the phone is the number one thing that you can do just to make somebody feel like you actually want their business, because you pick up the phone when they call. And we pride ourselves on being there. Yeah. So that is just a small little thing, and again, making it fun for you when you come in, and laughing and joking and making you feel like family.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's one big family, one big community, and we have to give each other support and fun, because there's plenty of not fun things in life.
It's tough to walk into the store and not be happy. Yeah. It's tough. Yeah. That's why we all come here. Yeah. This is the Toys R Us.
Mm-hmm. So it is.
And then the people that work here, I guess it's just, I can only compare it to being at Toys R Us and the staff there playing with you. Like, let me show you this new pogo stick. And now there you guys jumping down the aisles on pogo sticks.
Yeah.
This big wheel, watch this.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's this experience is a blessing. And I don't know if I would call it common, but it's appreciated and it's a blessing. I'm glad that you all have been in the neighborhood for so long.
Thank you.
I understand that some, because you have so many different bikes, so many different brands, somebody come here and maybe not come back. But as long as I've been here, this has been a space of home. This has been, my friends are here. You create a family atmosphere, and I don't know, it's appreciated.
Well, thank you.
For those people that go to bike shops and they don't have this type of feeling, I'm so sorry. There's perspective there. Like, oh, it's like having a bad experience to be able to say, okay, I know the difference. This restaurant is like this, and this one is like this. I'd like to go back to experience that.
Yeah.
And I can spend my money there because of the experience. So
yeah, it's no different from people choosing where they want to go eat based on their experiences. But
y'all got everything.
We try.
I know y'all do. We got everything. Biker gear, maybe some toys. It's just great to be here.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm glad that y'all do stuff. The events that you have in the parking lots, I greatly appreciate it. I don't go to all of them, but
well, we appreciate when you do come to any of them.
Outstanding that you host them. So.
Yeah, we have to get you out there with the DJ next time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Show them how it's done.
Yes. Put me on a mic.
Yeah.
Let me help out the crowd.
I'm going to give you a question here.
All right, what you got?
Speaking of microphones,
What's
if
up?
you were forced to sing one song at karaoke to save the world, what song would you pick and how badly would you butcher it?
I don't know. Right now I've been singing You Are My Sunshine a lot to my 4-year-old.
Your child's influence right there.
Yes.
Please just don't sing Baby Shark. No,
it's
Baby
funny.
Shark.
Just the other day, this past week, I have a Baby Shark costume, like a full costume. Like,
I don't know who came up with that, but that was their one-hit wonder of all time. I don't know how many views that song has on YouTube, but it'll
never die.
Oh my goodness!
Like, I went to the daycare and the teacher was like, "Can you go to this class next? Can you go to this class next?" Yeah, Baby Shark is still a thing. I've been singing that, but yeah, You Are My Sunshine probably.
I don't know. I see you belting out the Whitney Houston.
Which one?
I don't know.
I Will Always Love You.
Yeah. Yes, and I Will Always Love You. Yeah. She got to try and save the world. So, what's going to save the world but love?
Achy Breaky Heart. That's my song right there.
Oh, my God.
Billy Ray Cyrus.
Where's your mullet? Where's your mullet and your too tight jeans?
Business in the front and party in the back, baby. I'm all about it. Don't touch my heart. My achy breaky heart. Don't think you understand.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. The mullet factor that's back already. It seems like that's so soon.
I had a best friend with a mullet. I remember those days.
Yeah.
I had a rat tail. It was growing in the back. Oh, yeah. I had MC Hammer pants with the rat tail.
Oh, wow. You were just mixing it all up.
Oh, those were the days.
Oh, poor
good times,
MC
great
Hammer.
oldies.
Yes, yeah, MC Hammer. I love it all.
Can't touch this.
Yeah, can't touch it. Well, good. Well, I think that is a good way to end things.
Thank you.
You can't touch this.
You can't. You just can't.
But you can come here and hang out with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you still can't touch all the toys here.
Keep your hands to
Just
yourself.
ask.
Yeah. Yes, we like them up on their two wheels, not on their sides. All right. Well, where can people find out more about you? Do you have some social media or
social
YouTube
media.
or what do you have going on here?
Dyron Ducati. You can find me Dyron Ducati on probably all platforms. I'm so right now I am because life changes. Next year might be something else, but right now I'm the assistant program director of Kiss 104.1, Atlanta's best R&B, and the midday host from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. weekdays on Kiss 104.1, streaming on iHeartRadio, Kiss 104.1 phone app, and I just do commercials all across the states from east to west.
And he is available if you want him to record a lovely romantic message to your wife for you.
I've been
or
asked.
for yourself, or he
I've done
can read a paragraph for you or narrate your next creative video montage of anything.
Yeah. I had a friend just ask me, she's like, can you please read the back of this Lysol bottle? me and my husband, to me and my husband, to me and my husband. And take your time. I was like, and I stared and I said, okay, so caution. Keep away from children.
Yes, keep away from children. Use in a well-ventilated area.
Yeah, these things really happen. This is my life. My gift
Do
and my
not
curse.
spray this in your face.
Gift and curse.
Yes.
Can you read us a bedtime story? Just for us. Like, okay. You all tucked in? All right.
These are adults asking this?
Here we go.
What kind of story they want you to read? Hey.
It could be anything. It could be anything.
He's up for 50 Shades of Dyron too. You know?
Anything. Just close your eyes and listen to my voice.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. All right, then. All right. Before we get in trouble, I think we'll leave it and we'll pick up those next bits on a different channel.
Yes, indeed.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us and thank you for coming in. I really appreciate your time coming in and having fun with us.
Keep the rubber side down, right?
Yeah. And we'll see you all next time. Thanks. Thank you for tuning in to Candy's World on Wheels podcast. Leave a review anywhere that you're listening to this podcast, please. And thank you. Reviews really do make a very big difference in the growth of our channel.